Hi everyone, welcome to SQL for Oracle database course. So in today's lecture we'll continue our analytic functions. We have the first value and last value function. So this is the two type of analytic functions used to return the first or last value in an order set of values. So it retrieves the first or last value within a column in a table. It's used the column name as the only parameter. So the syntax, first value or last value, the column name, and over, this is where we tell the Oracle we're using the analytics function, and then order by, order by. We have the lag function. This allows you to look backward a number of rows. The syntax, we use the lag, the column name, and we set the opposite. If we set the opposite 1, that means we will back one row. Default value, if there is any back one row, so give me null, and we use the over to tell the Oracle use the analytic function. We have LISTAGG function. This is LISTAGG to concat joins values from multiple rows into one string with a custom separator like a comma, space, or a slash. So the syntax, we have LISTAGG, the column name, we set the delimiter within a group. We use this function within a group and order by close and over. We have the rank function. This is to calculate the rank of values in a group of values rows within equal values shared the same rank. Okay, and also we have row number functions. So analytic functions that create and increase numbering to rows begin with 1. Syntax, we have row number, over, partition by, column name, order by, column name 2 or 3. So I got SQL Developer software open. We're gonna run all these functions and we explain in more details in here. So we have the first value function. Select department ID and last name and salary from tables employee. This is ordered by salary. We will have the ascending order by salary column within the employee table. These are the window, the key that will give us what we are looking for. We have the first value function, and this is the argument, the last name, over, order by salary. This is to define how rows will sort the data by the salary. So it will sort the data by ascending order depend on the salary. And we will have another column, it's called first person. So we'll have department ID, last name, and salary, and first person column. So the first value, we use the first value, would look for the last name, and it will give you the first value from the column last name that have the lowest salary. So if you run this query, if you see we have the first person within the last name, we have the first person with the lowest salary. His name is Olison. So it give you all the first person name is Olison. Because Olison, it has the lowest salary 2,100. All the others have high salaries, so it give you only the first value from the last name who has the lowest salary. But if you use the last value, is the opposite of the first value, over order by salary, the same ascending order of salaries. So if you run this query, you will have the last value of salaries. For example, you have 2000, the same salary. So you'll have the last value is this name. You will have for both, and also for 2400, so the last value is, this is laundry, so you have laundry. The last name within 2500 we have Vargas, so I'll give you the last name is, it will return Vargas as the last name, because in here within the last name all these people sharing the same salary, but the last name is Vargas, so you will have Vargas as the last name. We have another function is lag. Select hire date and last name from the table employee This is order by to sort our data by hire date. This is the window. This is the analytic function. We have the lag to backward and check the hire date. If there is an employee with the hire date, will back just one row because we set the opposite to 1. And if it's back one rows and didn't find any employee, so it's back with a null value. Over order by hire date. This is the define the how the rows will be sorted by the hire date. So this is the last name, Dinhan. It's hired 13 June 2001. Because this is the first person, so we don't have one back rows, so we have the null value because there is not employee before him. But with Gitas is hired of 7 of June 2002, we will back one row, so we'll have the same date for Dinhan, 13 June 2001, and this is for all. When we back one row, you will have the person that is hired before you. If you back for beer, you will have 7 June 2002, 7 June 2002. Marvis, the same, we will have 7 of June 2002. Because we set the opposite to 1, it will back one row, and if there is no employee before you, you will return with a null value. LISTAGG function. Okay, select department ID, and we set the name as department. Hire date, we set the name as date hired, and we have the last name, we set the name as surname. LISTAGG function, we need the last name, and this is the delimiter. We use the semicolon to separate them. Within a group, this is the function order by hire date and last name. So we separate the data depending on the hire date and last name in the ascending order. Over, this is where we use the over clause. Partition by department ID. We use the partition by clause to chunk the data depending on the department ID, and we set as employees the column name as employee, and from the table name is employee. So if you run this query, so what does the LISTAGG do? It will combine all the people that have the same department ID. For example, this person have department ID equal to 10, so it will return only the surname Wellen. You will have the employee as Wellen. But if the person have the same department ID, so you will have Harrison, and then delimiter is the semicolon, and then we have Faye, because these are the same department ID. Also, for if the person have all these sharing the same department ID, so you'll have all these names, the surname separated by delimiter, and here is the semicolon. So this is how the LISTAGG function is working. Also, we have the rank. So select department ID, last name, salary. This is the window. The analytic functions over. We use the rank parenthesis over order by salary. This is ascending order depending on the salary. This employee also have 2100, so the ranking is 1. But if the person have, for example, 2200, the same salary, it will rank as number 2 because this person's came the next. And then if the person have 2400, it came at the row number 4, so to rank this guy as number 4. All these two guys as number 4 because the first employee is at the row number 4, so he will rank this employee at 4 because the salary in here is came 1 2 3 4, number 4. And then in here at the rows number 6, so to rank the first employee and all the guys that come after this employee, if they have the same salary, it will rank as number 6. And this is how is the ranking work. And also we have row number. So select, this is the aliasing employee. Asterisk is for select all from employee table. From employee table, we have this analytic function. So we have row number over order by last name. So we have the last name in ascending order as row number. So if you run this query, you will have all the columns from the employee table, and we have the row number 1, 2, 3. You will have all the rows number until 107 rows. But if you use the select all from employee table, and this is ordered by the salary and last name, ordered by, we have the last name and we have the salary. We separate the data in ascending order depending on the salary and the last name. So row numbers over partition by employee over by last name. So we have row number, this is the function, over, this is we tell the Oracle we use the analytic functions, partition by the salary, this is we chunk the data depend on the salary, and order by last name, this is we sort the data depend on the last name in ascending order, but we'll divide the data depend on the salary. So if you run this one, you will have the column name is called row numbers, but this time depending on the salary. So if the employee have only one salary individual, you'll have number 1, but then there's employee starting from 2000, this is the second salary, so he will start renting, he will start reset again starting from 1 and 2, and then if there is a no salary, he will start from beginning, this is number 1 and 2, and then if you have more than, if these all sharing the same salary 2500, so start from number 1 and then 2, 3, 4. So this is all you need to know about the analytic function, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next courses.